it is the time where we get to dive straight into what is trending on the streets with Uncle Curtly. Curtly, good morning.
Morning. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
So exciting to be here.
Yeah. Summer applies. And what's trending? What do we have?
Perhaps I'm going to have this review with you before we get into our stories right quick.
Yeah.
Have you been on Netflix lately?
Yeah, I have.
Have you been on YouTube lately?
A lot of bets.
Twitter, Facebook?
Yes, Twitter, yes.
Instagram?
I have been there.
All right.
What's
And
happening?
perhaps I'll tell you what's happening here, viewers. And for those who are not initiated as well as Nyasha is, my name is Curtly, Gwindi Kurt by name and not by nature. Always excited to be bringing you the stories. You name it, we talk about it. And yes, Tino Pinda, Tichitefenyura. And at the same time, Tino Researcher, Trenda. And yes, this is your premium breakfast show. Good morning, Zimbabwe. And this is the segment that takes a look at everything to do with the trends. And yes, to begin with, we are talking about none other than a creative direction, a masterpiece, and perhaps one of the most talked about shows, perhaps I could say regionally, but arguably internationally, speaking highly to the prowess of the actors and perhaps the creativity of the producer, as well as the creative director and writer. We are talking about none other than Sue Nyathi, a Zimbabwean, one of our very own, and we say salutations. The Polygamist, a story of polygamy, drama as well as excitement. Yes, but we encourage monogamy here on Good Morning Zimbabwe. At the same time, this is a story that is speaking highly to the strides of a storyline that is acting to amazing quality, not just quality, as well as viral content and an adaptation, once again, like I said, from Sue Nyathi, and also bringing a story to the virality. And yes, we have also got to hear contributions from individuals. Perhaps this one anonymous contributor here on Good Morning Zimbabwe said, "Hi, I am Nyasha, akatipindira ku page kwedu at Trending with Curtly," and said, "I do realize the trending series is The Polygamist, and at the same time, that is okay, but do give me an outlook on things that men don't check, and perhaps each other about, behavioral attributes that we need to fix according to our beliefs. There are certain things that in particular show as well as are taught within the systems and lines perhaps of our Africanness, and perhaps the idea is let's do better." And yes, we did hear this from TikTok, we did hear this from a lot of platforms, and perhaps we will also get to hear this from the TikTokers themselves, the contributors themselves, and those, perhaps if you haven't consumed, just get to hear a little bit about it in these reviews.
Polygamist. Wow. Wow. I'm like, listen, let's clap hands for everybody involved in that show.
The Polygamist on Netflix. Great acting, all black cast, African cinema. Y'all did y'all thing. It had me on my toes.
I'm currently watching this new show on Netflix, The Polygamist, and I am convinced that this show is rage bait. Every episode, the saxophones kept getting louder because what?
Because of what? Yes, indeed. And the season 2 dropping on the 20th of June. So yes, please do make sure that you follow through. And season 1 is already there on the social media. But at the same time, we don't want to go without mentioning coming back down to our roots. Yes, locally, we did see a Zimbabwean socialite and influencer named El Gringo, who was recently caught on camera involving a chaotic public altercation. But at the same time, we also want to say that this confrontation also got people like Shadaya tweeting things like this, and her phone is more important than her marriage. Now, because of our reasons here, as well as our terms and conditions on ZBC, we will not show the video, but at the same time, we will also appreciate that just yesterday she did turn 26, perhaps the wife of El Gringo, and she also did manage to be seen alongside the likes of Charisma BT Studios, and Fuad, the photographer. They are verifying, Anzi, the state of the union is strong. And of course, him being a contributor here on some of the content, we want to also hear from him. And perhaps if you are in our comment section, please do let us know. Guti El Gringo Wacho Tomunz, and he calls himself the leader of the youth. Saka tunombonzo akuti ma youth acho akuita say munom Zimbabwe. Moving further ahead here with our stories on Good Morning Zimbabwe, we can't go without mentioning a story once again that has been trending on social media, and this one is speaking highly to authorities who are were actively searching for a man identified as Muvangeri Isaiah Kwenda, who was reported to be on the run following an involving incident with a minor, and that's speaking highly to an announcement circulated by the Gutara Jehovah GRJ rather, a church, and the individual was reportedly discovered by police in an incident act with a minor who is a member of the church inside a vehicle. Now, very sad news there, and we say here no to, of course, prying on minors, and of course being a pedophile here on Good Morning Zimbabwe. That is always our message. And yes, indeed, we want to speak highly to the fact that we are also saying that Susan Mutami, yes, we do know, Anzi Mkadzi wasabuku kanauti, baby mama wasabuku, call it as you may. She's speaking on Twitter and saying that the state of the union is strong once again. So we want to clarify that matter for all those who thought there was drama around that particular Anzina Sabuku Temba Mliso Anzi Tidi Rights Terek, and yes, he is the father of that child. So please do make sure that you clear the air there. We also want to close off by saying rest in peace to Tay Keith, taking it back to the international scene. Tay Keith being a producer of songs like Sicko Mode and a big major contributor to Travis Scott's career as a producer within the music scene. Yes, at 29 years old, it is reported that a few hours ago he did lose his space as well as time on earth. Now, my name is Curtly Gwindi, Kurt by name and not by nature. Always excited to be bringing you these stories and more. Yes, Makua. Yes, every Wednesday and Friday you'll be always able to catch up with that. But if you missed us, of course, at our pages, Trending with Curtly, my personal pages, at Curtly Gwindi, always excited to be dishing out these stories and more. And Nyasha, the Polygamist.
I've watched it and I'm done with it. And the saxophone keeps getting louder. Even with you, Curtly, the saxophone keeps getting louder. But well, that was Curtly Gwindi with what is trending around and across Zimbabwe.